Our next session in a few minutes' time is going to be from Gamelight. We're going to talk about the power of game recommendation apps, and that's going to be Valentina Bailly and Kathleen Sherman.
Welcome to our session. We are super happy to see you all here today. Hope that we are enjoying as well San Francisco, because we are enjoying it a lot, to be honest. Like all the parties, all the cool stuff that we can do here, a lot of things that have been recommended to us as well that we are doing in San Francisco. So, topic of our session today, power of game recommendation apps. And my name is Valentina. I'm leading business development team of Gamelight, and next to me is my lovely colleague Kathleen, who is responsible for business development. So just to let you know what is Gamelight, Gamelight is the largest rewarded app discovery platform, game discovery platform primary for game publishers. So what we do, we are selling mobile traffic for game developers. We are selling installs in a very simple way to say that. And at the same time, basically what we are selling user acquisition campaigns for game publishers. We are living a dream, truth to be told, because Gamelight has been created only over a year ago. During this year, during 2023, we became top traffic source by AppsFlyer Performance Index. Plus, we became one of the top largest ad networks for, according all the gaming verticals globally, according to singular market snapshot, with a total ad spend share of 12% for metric titles. Honestly, we are super proud of our team. We are working hard, and the only thing we want to make it last, and hopefully it will. So, another thing, what makes us so special right now, what makes us stand out in our app discovery side is our unique AI algorithm that was created completely in-house, and actually it was created by our co-owner of the company, co-founder of the company, on his own. So what does do this AI? Because we are living in the era of personalization. And what it does, we are able to find the game for each user. So between all these crazy, massive gaming markets, you can be jumping from one app to another. So what we are doing, we believe, truly believe, so each game needs to be shown to the unique user who will be interested in this game. And our AI solution is helping us to do that, helping to do the most advanced targeting, which was as well named as the AI tool by .com Awards as the best tool for that. And as well, we are leveraging this tool to give rewards based on the behavior and based on the profile of each gamer. So right now, what you are probably expecting, you're expecting us to speak about ROAS, retention rate, LTV, and other buzzwords. We are not going to do that. Sorry to disappoint you. We are going to tell you the story about the evaluation of app discovery. So just a little bit of personal note. This topic is so dear to me because I got the chance to be a part of two revolutionizing companies of app discovery. I used to be working for the first app discovery platform that was on the market with the name UpGratis, which was back on the days. And right now I'm working for Gamelight that we just presented to you. So what is app discovery? So it's all started back in the days in 2008 when the two app stores appeared. How many apps and games they had inside? It was 500. Seems to be massive. It used to be crazy. It was booming. It was a great thing to do. And how the first company appeared in the market, there was a guy, can seem geeky. Not really geeky, to be honest, genius, because he loved to explore new games, new apps, and to send it around to his friends. So what he started to do, every time he was discovering something new, and apps were they were multiplying each day. So he started to send a newsletter to his friends. Guys, have a look. That's a new cool app. That's a new cool game to try. And this newsletter became viral. It became so viral. It's like it was crossing the borders of France and going to different countries, not only European ones, but crossing the ocean and being popular here in the United States. And the guy was thinking, one day we need to start getting money out of that. So he started to monetize. obviously. So what he did, he launched an app, which became the first app discovery app, App Gratis. I was the part of it. What people, they really like to be recommended. We all like to be recommended. Maybe sometimes like we are pushing it away, but we love recommendation. Because it limits our choices as well. Because it's actually, it's the recommendation that you are getting for you. That's why we really believe in the power of a recommendation. You are able to create the community of users. For example, if I'm talking like, I will just continue with my story about App Gratis, that we created the community. Community was very powerful. Another thing is that it counted around 16 million daily active users. And by the way, guys, without it was zero user acquisition. It was just crazy. It was booming, but it was the right product in the right time. And there were like quite some funny stories there, because once we received an echography of the baby, because the guys actually found love using our app, and they found an app that they really liked. They got engaged like in this game, which was recommended by our platform, and they met baby. And they were not the only ones. Actually, I have my personal story there as well, who happened with my ex-colleague. So that's the result of the recommendation apps. Let me go back. And yeah, so right now, obviously, it was the right product, the right time. Right now, we are living in a completely different world. Right now, it will not pass. We are not interested, publishers, they are not anymore interested in installs. And users, they are not interested just in discovering new, because they are overwhelmed by all their ads that they're seeing around. It's too much. Plus another thing, like, the market became really cool right now. We have MMPs, analytics, so many ways to explore it and exploring new games. And at the same time, recommendation is still a very personal thing. We truly believe it's better than search. It's better than anything, because to be recommended, it's a very personalized experience. And the twist that we are doing in Gamelight, we believe in one thing, is that gamers sometimes is feeling guilty for playing the game for a long time. At least I personally do, when I'm spending hours with that. And we decided to make the experience more cool by continuously rewarding users, giving a little bit of coins. In that case, the user is staying loyal, he's not jumping from one to one, and he's feeling less guilty, at least like I personally don't. And there is a very big misunderstanding, because we all know about the incentivized traffic, and we are providing rewarded traffic. So usual question that we are usually asked by our clients is like, your traffic is incentivized. And we are saying, no, that's rewarded. And I will give over to my lovely colleague, Kat, to continue this subject.
Thanks, Valentina, and super well said. So yeah, we often hear a misconception between rewarded and incentivized traffic, and I'm hoping right now I can help clarify what those differences are and what makes rewarded traffic very strong. So let's start by just taking a look at what incentivized traffic really is. Incentivized traffic is when a user is extrinsically motivated in order to earn a reward. Typically, this means they are, earning a gift card for installing a game, or perhaps reaching some sort of level within the game itself. And incentivized traffic can be very strong at increasing volume. You get a lot of different users, a wide variety of users that are interested and motivated by that particular reward. However, we can see that potentially there is lower quality there in the traffic. And this is because the users often drop off. They stop playing once they earn that reward. There's no continuous aspect, as you were saying, when it comes to rewarded marketing platforms. So we see that there's not necessarily this long-term investment. There's more short-term interest when it comes to incentivized traffic. And it's this very thing, this diversity in the audience, that is its downfall. We're not really seeing this, meaningful relation to the app. However, if we compare it to rewarded marketing platforms, we see that rewarded recommendation apps actually help to enhance user engagement. And this is because the initial interaction involves some sort of gameplay. The users are, interested in the game itself, the content, the mechanics, and the users are choosing which game to play. There's a catalog of games, and it's usually the one that strikes their fancy that they're going to play the most. From there, we also see rewarded marketing platforms increasing monetization. This is because users are more likely to make an in-app purchase. They see value in spending in a game that they've already invested both time and effort in learning how to play this game. So they see spending money in the game as a worthwhile investment. Similarly, we see ad engagement increasing often with rewarded marketing platforms, and this is helping to increase that user quality. The ad engagement increases because typically a user is going to find a rewarded marketing app through an ad itself, so we already know that they have a propensity for being the kind of user that's going to watch an ad and thereby being a great user in terms of ad monetization. These things also help to improve retention. So because the rewarded marketing apps are continuously giving points or rewards to a user, the user is not only expressing interest in the app, but they're getting rewarded continuously for playing the particular game. Now, there's a lot of rewarded marketing apps out there, we know this, but what makes Gamelight so special? What is Gamelight's innovative approach? This all is coming down to personalization. So for us, the personalization aspect starts from the very beginning of the user journey, from the AI targeting algorithm all the way through to how the user actually earns rewards. There's a tailored reward section there. So first, let's look a little bit at the AI targeting and what makes that so special. When a user comes to install one of our apps, they're giving us their demographic details, things like their age and their gender. But then beyond that, they're also willingly and actively giving us access to their app usage data. This means that we can see all the types of games or apps this user has installed on their device and for how long they play. This way, we're able to differentiate between users that maybe show a little bit of interest in an RPG game versus a match 3 game. So, for example, maybe there's a user that has a couple RPG games installed on their device, but they haven't really touched them in 6 months, but they're playing match 3 games and they're playing them often. Maybe it's the case that those RPG games were actually installed by a partner or someone's child, but we're able to tell through this AI algorithm which is going to be the most relevant to that user. So from there, after we've scanned that device, we show up to 4 titles at a time. This way, as Valentina was mentioning earlier, we're actually limiting the selection of games that a user has to choose from. The whole idea here is that we're actually pairing a game to a user that is going to be the most relevant to them, one that they're going to want to spend a lot of time in and a lot of money in too. And as I mentioned as well, the personalized aspect goes even further than just this AI targeting in the beginning. It's all the way through the user journey. So a user earned points and then they redeem these points for gift cards. Again, it is continuous, meaning that once they've redeemed these points for a gift card, they can actually come back to the app and continue to do it again and again. But beyond that, there's a variety of factors, a variety in ways in which a user can earn points for playing on one of our apps. So, for example, there's for the amount of time a user spends in the app. Perhaps it's you play for 1 minute, you get some points, another 5 minutes, you get some points, and so on and so forth. But that is also in combination with in-game levels and achievements. It kind of really depends on the user itself, the game itself, and what our actual partners' goals are, what their objectives are out of the campaign. So we look at things like what our partners' ROAS goals are or retention goals, and that's going to actually inform the algorithm in terms of the rewards that this user is going to earn. Essentially, each user is going to be earning in a different way, in a way that is most motivating to that particular user. And in this sense, we're creating a sense of loyalty in our users. The users aren't necessarily abusing the system, hopping around from game to game just to get rewards. Our idea here is that we want to pair a user to a game that's going to be something that they want to continue to play. We want our users to install 1, maybe 2 apps maximum, and then continue playing for years to come. So And because of this, we typically see an increase in our day 7 ROAS by about 40% on average with our partners. So doing pretty well. In terms of this very cute photo of Valentina and I, it's not just there because we're looking cute. It's actually there as a metaphor. It's the power of recommendation. So when we arrived in San Francisco not too long ago, I had told my best friend Morel, hey, I'm going to San Francisco. Any recommendations on where to get the best clam chowder? She told me Nick's Lighthouse, and boy was she right. It was delicious. However, if it was up to Valentina and I, we would have been just walking the wharf for a really long time until we could find something that fit our palate. But because I had someone that I trusted, that I had someone that knew me in the same way that Gamelight knows its users, we were able to, through the word of mouth, actually get a recommendation that was brilliant. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that the word of mouth, we ask our families and we ask our friends for recommendations, different restaurants to go to, cafes or nightclubs. And this is because they know us well and they can give us a good recommendation. So the recommendation is, limiting the choice of options that are most relevant to you. And similar to how Morel recommended us Nick's Lighthouse, and that was a smash hit, Gamelight recommends games to our users with a powerful AI algorithm. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for that, guys. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you. Thanks, great presentation. I was just wondering how, over the last couple of years, changes in things like IDFA and ATT has affected your ability to know your gamers the way and have that personalized information. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I will speak about this. Kathleen has mentioned that. For us, it's very simple in a way, because the thing is that we have our own apps. When the user installs an app, he needs to go through the settings. Actually, it's not just a box. He really needs to go in the settings of the phone and toggle the box, and after that, start sharing the data. That's why it's it doesn't, we are the owners, we are the first data owners of our own data. In that case, we are able to tailor our campaigns for each user. Yeah.
Actually, I would just add to that as well that our users, they can't even find games on our app until they open this up to us as well. So we're not going to recommend them apps until they, as I mentioned earlier, willingly and actively do this for us.
Yeah, in the settings. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, one question I had is, are there any particular genres of game that seem to work best within the system? Are there particular kinds of gamers, basically, that tend to go through more easily than others?
The thing is, that's actually why we are doing it. We are showing only 4 games. With us, all the verticals work well. With us, obviously, we are doing the user acquisition on our site as well, because we are doing user acquisition from different channels for our own apps. Mm-hmm. The thing is that we need to have a very wide audience in order, different ages, different genders, different behavior patterns. Basically, we are using a lot of different sources, because like this, we are able to tailor our campaigns for each game. So it doesn't matter the vertical. That's why it's maybe for the singular snapshot, it's across all the verticals of gaming. Because actually, sometimes what you see is that the most famous publishers, you can see their ads everywhere. We try to give a chance for all the game publishers to shine and to find their audience via us.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Because I do have one more. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Hi. As
Hi.
someone who admittedly is on level 6,000 of Candy Crush, what does my experience look like? Because I'm not entirely sure if I'm downloading a game of yours or I'm getting the incentives in Candy Crush. Maybe walk us through that.
Okay, so you will be installing our app. After that, 4 games will be presented to you, maybe less, maybe only 2. One of them, for example, is Candy Crush. So first of all, we need to be sure that Candy Crush will be shown to you, because maybe you are not interested in those titles, or will be another material will be matching your expectation more, maybe with flowers, if you like flowers. That really depends. It's not meant that we're working with Candy Crush, it will be shown exactly to you. Another thing, so you are installing an app. Usually what we are taking progression events, and we are taking purchases if it's a game like Candy Crush, which is monetized via purchases. We really need to have it for the first like 7 days for the very beginning, and as long as possible down the funnel that publisher is sharing it with us. So like this, it's not only install, for which you will get the little incentive. It's as well like how long do you play, it's play time, it's as well all the progression events which will be tailored to your gaming behavior. Yeah. So we really we cannot say that you will get like 50 coins for something. Maybe for you it will be only 10 coins, for somebody else it will be 70 coins because he hasn't been using the Candy Crush, for example, for 2 days. It's really like there is a mechanics because it's all done by AI, and it's completely like self-adapting and self-optimizing as well, depending like on the campaign. Yeah.
Great. I think we'll wrap it up there because we have a large panel to kind of get set up for. But
Yeah.
thank you very much, guys. That was awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Enjoy. Sorry, that's for our marketing.